Good. I'm recording us. How you been?
I'm fine.
Good. I know last
Uh,
time we talked, I know you started off, you're having a lot of the thoughts and stuff like that was in your head, and you were identifying with a lot of these thoughts about suffering and all this, you had a lot of this history you were explaining to me, your past and all that stuff. And then toward the end of the call, we were talking about, how there's some space that opens up when the thoughts come in. It's kind of like you're not identified with your thoughts. They're just thoughts, but we're empowered. We get to pick and choose, which thoughts we want to talk about, we want to entertain or we want to believe in. And I was just trying to empower you to see that, that you're not your thoughts and that you're the spacious, impersonal beingness or the consciousness. That's your true nature. And all this other stuff is coming up from there. So, how has that been going?
when I talked to you,
Hmm.
uh, I was feeling way worse than I do now.
Okay.
So thank you for that call.
You're
It
welcome.
made me feel better.
Made you feel better,
Uh,
right?
I kind of changed. I changed a little bit. Uh,
Okay.
uh, when- Before we did the call, uh, I know a lot of techniques like fast EFT tapping,
Yeah.
uh, like the Kabbalah. Do you know the
Right.
Kabbalah?
Yep.
And chakras,
Right.
Hinduism.
That
Before I
all.
called you, as all that was gone out of me for some reason.
Right.
But I've met a lot of good people. People. Uh, I will ask you: have you heard of someone called Cal Washington?
What's the name?
Cal and Washington.
Cal. What? No, that doesn't ring a bell. What do they talk about?
He's a really good guy. He has a Mighty Network account. He has a team called Empower Team,
Hmm.
and they have about 4,000 active members
Oh,
from
wow.
all around the world.
That helps.
Well, not really. He's not a very spiritual guy. He talks about the Bible, and he
Okay.
talks about uh, maybe like if you think someone has authority over you,
Hmm.
like for example, a court or a government.
Hmm.
Uh, he can like flip that idea back to them. But in in reality that I live in, my country is more giving than it takes. For example, in my country, the salary is very high. It's very
Okay.
high, and the food is very healthy,
Hmm.
and we can like drive at night and at day, but not at big roads. Like I don't know the laws in the United States. So I forgot what I was gonna.
Well, I guess what I want to talk to you about is like where you're at as far as realizing what you truly are, your true
Oh,
nature. Do
I
you
am starting to
realize?
realize.
Do you
Yes,
real?
I am
Go ahead.
starting to realize what I am.
What are you?
I, I am right now uh, in my way peacefully to get back where I was originally.
Hmm.
That's what I feel like.
Do you still feel like you're identified with your thoughts and your body, or is there some space that's opened up?
Uh, Yes, there is a space. Well, yesterday I did tapping with uh, with a guy. I told him the same things I told you,
Okay.
and I did tapping, and all of that, all the beliefs are gone. I feel
Yay.
much freer.
Oh, that's great. That's usually what happens, because up to that point, sometimes we think we're our thoughts, and then some space opens up, and then we feel free because really the whole time we're remaining as the space, the conscious space, this open space of beingness. That's our true nature. And these thoughts are being piped in, and sometimes we identify with them and say, "Oh, that's me." But when we look around, there's no me here. We're just the space of beingness. And so it's okay for all those thoughts to come and go. We're okay. We're fine. There's really nothing serious going on, man. It's all good. We just remain as the pristine, infinite being. We're all that. Everyone is that one infinite being, and they are remaining as this effortless being. This effortless being is underneath all of the thoughts, all of the images. It's all arising effortlessly and equally for no one. It's just coming up into this space, this permanent space of beingness. That's what you are. That's what I am. That's what everyone is. We're all this one infinite being, and in this space of beingness, and all the forms are coming up, all the thoughts, the emotions, your body sensations, all that's happening. And that's all coming up in you, the beautiful, loving, peaceful beingness, the pristine, sovereign being that you are.
So, you know, I need to be close to the phone. I cannot be very loud. It's nighttime, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
I completely agree with what you said,
Mhm.
and it's true for everyone.
Yes.
Uh, but can I tell you something that if someone, you know, uh, uh, everybody is different, is at a different spiritual dimension.
True.
I'm right now at the third chakra, the third density, and it's the tenth density. It's the consciousness of the ego.
Hmm.
Although I removed my ego yesterday with the tapping,
The tapping. Yeah, you were telling me about that. Yeah, it seemed to help you. Yeah.
it helped to reduce my ego,
Oh.
and but it doesn't really change the. You know, you know, if a guy comes to you and he feels miserable, his life is bad, and you
Hmm.
tell him you're effortless being, his
Yeah.
consciousness doesn't realize that until he lost all ego. And you know, losing ego, it doesn't really mean like people have like people have authority over you, and you cannot, like if you have a court, you cannot get out, like losing control, like that is not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And in fact, in this country, it's that doesn't really happen like that. It's very free in here,
Mhm.
so that's not a worry. I'm talking about like, uh, you know, I really like the higher dimensions, like that they don't have an ego, they don't identify with the ego.
Mhm.
Uh, for example, the heart chakra and going up.
Mhm.
Uh, you know, people like me, they have the ego, they have themselves, and they have consciousness. Uh, I if they haven't awakened their consciousness yet, either through Kundalini or through,
Mm.
love thy neighbor thyself, love
Right.
God with all your heart. There's two ways to do that. They're not gonna be like the effortless being, really.
Hmm.
For example, I will tell you one thing that was happening to me. At one point in my life, I was spiritually awakening to the point that I became the creator. I was
Perfect.
once the creator.
Hmm.
Anytime I wanted something, if I did not have the ego in me, I was not religious. I was starting to know about Hinduism because Hinduism says that God is chaos, but it doesn't. At the same time, it's not a religion. Someone can be atheist and Hindu. It just talks about that, like, nature and like karma. If you kill like an animal and eat that meat. Anyways, uh, like when I was in a higher consciousness, like uh, there was like I could not identify with this body. It was taking care of itself.
Great.
My hair was growing faster. I was healthy. To be honest with you, uh, at that time I was at in construction. I'm still am, but once a truck, a, a, a small truck went over my foot for like 5 seconds. And the guy wasn't paying attention, blah, blah. It always happens. It's
Right.
fine. I went to the doctor the same day. It was hurting a little, my foot. And I went to the doctor. They did a test, like, on my leg. They said, "Do you feel pain when doing that test?" I told them, "I don't feel any pain." They said, "You do not need me." And I said, "Fine." They told me just stay at home for days. That was when I was not in fine with the body takes care of itself. If
Yes.
a lot of you know
I like what you
like
said because
life.
it's true. The body does take care of itself. It's almost like we get in the way of it. The body naturally heals itself. It's just that we put up this resistance and we get in the way. Our birthright is to be healthy, and the body knows what to do. It's just that we get in the way of it. I mean, and so you're so right. I can totally resonate with everything you're saying.
And that's nice to hear. And another thing, life stays life. A truck ran over my foot. That happens. Life is staying life. It's just that I don't identify with the ego. I can create. I'm the creator.
You are, yes, you are the
Uh,
pristine creator, the infinite being. You're having this human experience that we're all having this human experience, but we're all remaining as the pristine infinite being. We can't help but be that. And it takes no effort just to be. That's why the name of my channel is Effortless Being, because we're just being effortless. We cannot help but be. That's what we are. That's our true nature. Anytime we put forth effort, we're just going away from what we truly are. All we have to do is remain, and everything comes to us effortlessly, as long as we don't block it with resistance or believing limited thoughts.
Accept the thoughts. They will go.
Yeah, let them go. They don't apply to you. Just they're like you're the sky, and they're like clouds floating by. The sky doesn't try to grab onto the clouds. It's open and expansive, all allowing, and it doesn't touch the infinite being. It's never touched by it. It's never harmed. There's a peace in knowing that.
There is, but there isn't really, like, for someone who's not really, whose consciousness is not open.
Right. When they're constricted, they believe that they're this limited, separate self, like I'm here and the world's out
No,
there
not
and
them,
they can
not
get me.
them. Their consciousness
Their
doesn't
consciousness, yeah.
know. Their consciousness isn't awake yet.
Right.
Because
It's
consciousness,
playing a game. It's playing a game. Yeah, it's
yeah, because
believing
consciousness,
that it's separate. The consciousness is it's not aware of itself yet. It's almost like it forgot itself and then it remembers itself later. Something wakes it up. Usually it's suffering, I found, wakes the consciousness up
it
when
does, yeah, yeah, that's
and then
true.
it
That's very
realizes, wait
true.
a second, yeah, like something's wrong, and then people start seeking, and then they start questioning it, like, what am I really? And usually, when they ask that question, what am I really? Then it consciousness reveals itself to itself. Now, consciousness is aware of itself, but you're right. When consciousness is asleep, you know, and is pretending it doesn't know itself, that's when we have all the suffering. So a lot of people can't hear this. Like we might be talking about consciousness being aware of itself. And if you're in that experience, we honor the life experience. Everybody's having that real life experience, whether it's suffering or consciousness being asleep or being separate. We honor that because we know that's the experience that consciousness is having. But then usually consciousness will wake itself up and it'll be conscious of itself. And then the suffering goes away because it's no longer identified, with being separate, but it realizes it's the whole and it's complete and it's never touched by anything happening in the manifestation because it's impersonal beingness is our true nature. So it's just really, I always think of it like playing like a game of hide and seek, like consciousness. I can see it through your eyes, through mine. There's no separation. It's just like playing a game of hide and seek and revealing itself, almost like is the way I see it.
And uh, another thing, uh, consciousness doesn't know the bad. For example,
Mhm.
it doesn't know anything bad. Doesn't know anything like not natural. It doesn't know anything other than itself.
Right.
So, so when someone hasn't spiritually awakened yet,
Hmm.
the consciousness, yani, he may be a good person, but the consciousness doesn't know the bad, doesn't know the ego.
Right.
So it his consciousness at that time or hers wouldn't know effortless being. Doesn't know the bad. It only knows good.
Yep. It's whole, it's complete, it's loving. It just is, it's effortless, it's easy, it's spacious, expansive, impersonal. It just is. And everything else flows in and out of it, collapses into it, into the infinite ocean of beingness, of consciousness, of infinite consciousness that we all are.
Actually, I have another funny thing I
Yeah,
want to share.
sure.
Uh, I'm like this,
Yeah, sure. That's good.
so because I want to show my face.
Yeah.
You're saying the clouds are like the thoughts are like the clouds. They come
Mhm.
and they
Yes.
go.
Right.
The sky is like it's like me, the man or
Yes.
the woman. There's no man or woman. Uh, not the man. Uh, have you heard of uh, chemtrails, like fake clouds that the uh, companies do? For like geoengineering, sky spraying, like chemtrails. You know that, of course. That's
Yes.
that's very popular in America.
Mhm. Yes.
That's man-made clouds. It's like the same thing. Man-made thoughts, man-made beliefs
Yes.
from the
Yes.
ego.
Yes. Your intuition's leading you very well.
the to be honest with you, these chemtrails, I do not think they were happening often in in Israel. 2 years ago, I never really, I don't remember recalling on these fake clouds. They seem to be happening right now. I see a
Yes.
lot of them,
Yes.
uh, and that's it does like resemble a lot of egoic, like egoic death. Well, there is no death to the consciousness, or to the real you, or to awareness. Uh, a lot of those clouds can show up. It's the same. I don't know how to tell you, but you get what I'm saying, right? Do you?
Yes.
You
Yeah,
know?
I'm picking up. Yeah, you're very clear. You're very clear. You're the pristine, infinite being. You're very clear. You are consciousness,
Well,
infinite, eternal, spacious, all knowing.
and I'm talking about them because I've told you about the Cal Washington guy.
Yes.
Well, you know what's good about him?
What?
He, he said he doesn't have unconditional love. He's a little bit egoic. He does. He's trying to be good more than bad. He's
Hmm.
trying to give people food, or money, and to be a nice person. And I've talked with him, and
Yeah.
he looks like a nice person. He and he lives in Canada, and there's a lot of geoengineering there. There's a lot of chemtrails, and he's doing like he sends like paperwork documents with like Bible, uh, because the governments have contracts with the Bible. Like
Right.
for example, like it's different maybe. Like in Saudi Arabia, they may have a contract with Islamic faith, but in America and in most countries they have it with the Bible, because because the Queen of England is like made a contract that all countries are of like when with the Bible. I do, it's mostly they have contracts with the Bible. So he writes documents with the Bible, like for example, uh, you know, law of Moses, uh, like let's make man in our image after our own likeness.
Right.
We have the likeness of God.
Right.
He sends them those paperwork, and he says, and like he's he doesn't have like bad intuition when he sends the papers to the government. He sends them. He said, uh, "We don't want those chemtrails." He said, "No, in the right way." He said, "We do not want those chemtrails. We demand the service that you give us, the hospitals, the police."
Right.
Get what I'm saying?
Yep.
We will accept the service, and we will accept the chemtrails if you can prove that they are safe, and they cannot prove a weapon is safe, because
Right.
those chemtrails have a lot of gases and etc. etc. It doesn't really affect the effortless being. It doesn't really affect being at all. Those don't. They can affect the body.
Oh, definitely.
Uh,
I agree.
uh, and he made a lot of uh, company like CEOs quit their job after they have received those documents. They have literally like after a month or 2 months, they quit their job. They don't want to be that CEO. They do not want to have that karma. They do not want, because they have a contract with the Bible.
Right.
They will uphold. The Bible said, "Let's make man in our image." They have a contract with that book, and they
It's true.
are doing. Uh, they are doing the opposite, and he sends them those paperwork. Well, they do a lot of service. They do a lot of good, but we do not want the harmful trespasses to our bodies.
Right.
He does it uh, in a way that's gentle, that makes someone feels good. He doesn't fight them. He never fights them. He honorably tells them to to not do the chemtrails. I never seen anything like this. You know,
Hmm.
it's. Can I ask you something?
Yes.
Uh, do you see when you get out of get out from your room? Do you see like a lot of like chemtrail clouds, like the X's,
Do I see the
lines?
clouds? Is that your question?
Um, not the clouds, the chemtrails, the gases, because that's a lot in America.
Do I see what? See
The
everything.
the chemtrails, the clouds
Do I see the
that I was talking.
clouds? Do I see the clouds? Mm.
No, the thing that I was talking about, the chemtrails.
Chemtrails?
Yeah, do you see them? Like when you look out the window, do you like see them? Are they like being sprayed often?
Yeah, experience, the way I experience anything is like I'm this like open space of consciousness, this infinite field of potential. And then I see images arising effortlessly, all these images, and then the mind comes in and labels them and separates them. But all I see is this open space of infinite potential, of infinite beingness, consciousness, if you will. And I just see all these forms coming up and all these emotions and feelings, and they're all coming up, and then they collapse into this infinite ocean of consciousness that I am. And so I just rest as effortless being, and it's so peaceful here. And it all just comes and goes within me. Happening inside me. There's like a infinite intelligence behind the scenes orchestrating everything. And I just rest like this.
I- You're right. You know, being effortless being is it to me it really feels like being free from like making the heart feel better, making the chest feel because you know before I had my spiritual awakening, during the spiritual awakening, I had the belief that I was suffering, that I had heart disease, and
Hmm.
I had the pain in my chest, and
Hmm.
so for me, like after I like started to ask, you know, as she said, or as no, I don't think it's as Buddhism says, seek and you will find. I asked, you know, what,
Right,
why, why do I feel this pain in my chest? Why is my heart always pumping faster than it should? When I
right.
asked that, I felt completely different.
Oh,
For the first time as well,
good.
I felt it did not take a long time. For me, it feel better. Um, as far as me right now, to be honest with you, it was horrible last year. There was wars, there was a lot of stuff. People have changed around me. People have changed. I have changed as well. My hair like starts to fall out. You
Oh,
know, it's not very nice to talk about them. Like 3 months ago, I was waking up in the middle of the night because of what? Because of I was hearing sirens and I was hearing rockets blowing up in the sky
right.
because of the wars.
The wars, yeah.
And um, 2 years ago, there was no wars.
Mm,
Uh, it was easier to be spiritually awakened. People were fine. People like it's really like people have changed. Like all the kind of faces. Arab, they change. They look much worse. They talk weirdly. Me too. I've changed. I've
right.
changed. This year and last year, I had 3 injuries in my body. One on my head. I could not focus at work.
Hmm,
2 years ago, that would have never happened.
right,
Even before I spiritually awakened,
right.
I was like normal. Now I feel like there's like something. I feel
Hmm,
like there's a fraud. Do you want me to lie to you and tell you I really feel good about the world I live in and
right,
everything?
right. Be honest, yeah.
I have to be honest with you. I feel like this consciousness
Yeah,
is being attacked by something.
yeah,
And I think, and I completely honest with you,
right.
I think it's the Muslims and the Islamic religion. I tell you what, I tell you the truth. When I was spiritually awakened, I was meditating on the fact that Arabs do not have a soul.
Right.
Although some Arabs they give food and practice their tribal uh, beliefs, they do not have a and they don't really support like they are in my town. Nobody is atheist. All of them are Muslims strictly,
Right.
and they I could not connect with them. I could not feel normal. I could not walk. And, you know, a lot of stuff happened this year. Um,
Hey, listen, I got to run here quick, but I want to pick this conversation back up. Can we pick it up again?
okay, if I don't want to take all your time, of course.
Yeah. Only because I have another appointment I gotta get to, but I definitely wanted to talk to you. That's why I jumped on here real spontaneous and quick because I love talking to you and hearing from you. I like it. Stay in your peace, stay in your love.
You know,
Really.
2 years ago when you, you weren't really doing these Zoom calls, were you?
No, it's just like probably within the last, the YouTube channel I started I think it was like 3 years ago, but that was just me talking. Then I started talking with people probably about a year ago, I would say, a year or two ago.
My mother would have been happy if she could have talked to you 2 years ago because she told me about you.
Okay.
And at that time, I wasn't really feeling weird. I could focus. Like right now, I can't really drink a lot of coffee.
Hmm.
Like it's a lot of like blood pressure stuff like that. Start to happen to me. Of course, I can heal it fast, and I will. And if I have a lot, if I get a lot of results, I will share them with you.
Okay.
And I'm just saying. 2 years ago, me and my mother were listening to your videos a lot.
Hmm.
like all night, all day. We were like taking walks in the night, and we were thinking about what you're saying. We were meditating on that,
Hmm.
effortless being, the truth, and it was nice. It would have been talked. It would have been nice if you talked. Uh, my mother at that time, and of course she can talk to you now, but she's a little.
Can she talk to me or no?
She hasn't talked to you.
Can she?
She can, but to be honest with you, she doesn't really look at her best. She looks different.
Uh,
She a lot of stuff, a lot of bad stuff happened. Uh, she, I don't want to talk about them. We can
that-
talk about them in
that's
a
fine.
different time.
That's fine. Whatever is
And I don't
comfortable.
feel like I don't feel like she can talk to you right now.
That's okay. It's all well. Everything's fine. I'm glad that you found the videos in the YouTube videos I was doing. I'm glad you found them encouraging and helpful.
They were.
Good. They're always there for you to listen anytime you want. I
Thanks,
love
thanks.
doing it. It's fun for me, and I just expressing my truth, my direct experience. I'm happy when people resonate or they're uplifted by it, and that feels good to know that because I just want to express love and joy and upliftment. And I want people to know the truth of what's happening so they can be feel free and alive and happy and joyful and live their best life, so to speak, and realize the truth of what they truly are. They're the infinite being having this human experience, and they can make the human experience fun and joyful because that's what we all are. We're meant to be that way. Life's meant to be fun and enjoyable and peaceful and show love. Because when I see you, I see a mirror, I see myself. When I look in your eyes, I see myself. I look in your eyes, I see the consciousness that you are is the same consciousness that is me. We're one and the same. It's unity, it's love, it's joy, it's peace.
Very nice to hear.
All right, well, I'm going to go now. We'll pick it back up again soon. Thank
Of
you.
course, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.